Worm casting has many applications, and today as I apply worm castings to my garden, I am going to be sharing some of those applications with you. I have quite a lot of worm castings, and this is my comfrey plant, and look, it is flowering. We grew comfrey when I was growing up in Jamaica. We had comfrey. They didn't grow this tall. This plant is about 3 feet tall, and I've never seen comfrey flower, and we've had ours in Jamaica for years. So I was very surprised when I learned that comfrey actually produces flower, and look how tall it is and how beautiful they are. One of the things that I like about comfrey is that it sends its root deep. The roots of comfrey can go as low as 4 feet deep, and therefore it can access nutrients, minerals included, that are deep down in the soil. And that is one of the reasons why comfrey is such a good fertilizer, because it absorbs those nutrients, and then when you use it to make your comfrey tea, or whether you're simply applying it, the comfrey, to your garden as organic matter, then it releases those nutrients that it takes up. So many use worm castings for fertilizer, and when you're using it for fertilizer, you can put it directly on the surface of your soil, or you can mix it into your soil. As I practice no dig gardening, so I don't till my soil, but when I'm digging the holes to plant my garden, then at that point in time I had worm castings, and then every now and then, because I have a lot, I'll come back and top up the garden with the worm castings. All of these things that you see here are from Dutch elm seeds that are germinating in here. They're annoying. And these are my Chinese cabbage. They should have been at least 3 times the size that they are now, but because of pests, they are not as big as they should be. There were some caterpillars swinging on webs. Don't know what type of caterpillars they are that swing on webs, and every couple of years they will appear. These caterpillars are always swinging from the Dutch elm trees, so I don't know what type of caterpillar they are, but when they do come about, they wreak havoc on the plants. And although I was using the BT for them, it took a long time for it to actually work, to get them under control. Now, one of the things that I like about worm castings is that it strengthens the root of your plants, and so it makes it easier for your plants to survive when they are faced with pest issues, because the plants are stronger. They have the ability to fight back. And these are my red onions. Worm castings can also be used to amend your soil. So if you find that you have sandy soil, or you have clay soil, if your soil lacks a lot of organic matter, then you can use the worm castings to amend it. Now, when you're using worm castings for fertilizer, you only need a small amount of worm castings. When you are using it, however, to amend your soil, then you are going to need 20% worm castings. And when I say 20% worm castings, I don't mean that it is worm casting mixed with something else, but say for example you're growing in a container, 20% of the soil in that container should be worm castings. And if you're growing in the ground, still 20% is the ideal amount for amending your soil. Worm castings can also prevent soil erosion. I won't be going in depth on that. I will be doing a video on that in the near future. Now, when you add worm castings to your garden, it actually gives your plants a fighting chance, not just for pests but also in controlling pathogens as well. Because worm castings is rich in microbes, and microbes is what enable your plants to absorb nutrients in the soil. So it doesn't matter whether you're using worm castings or not in your garden, it is the microbes that are present in the soil that makes it possible for any plant to absorb the nutrients. So you want to have good amount of microbes, and worm castings can help you to do so. Now there are many different types of microbes, and you have those that are bacterially based and those that are fungally based microbes. You can actually control whether your plant, whether your castings, if you're producing your own castings, you control whether or not it is going to be fungally based or bacterially based, or if it is going to be balanced. And the way that you make your worm casting fungally based is to add more carbon to your carbon source, like your newspaper, shredded cardboard, dried leaves, stuff like that, to your worm bin than you do food scraps. Then it will be fungally based. If you want to improve the bacteria in the soil, then you're going to add more food scraps and less of the carbon based material. Now, why is that important? Plants have preference whether it is fungally based nutrients or whether it is bacterially based nutrients. So for example, flowers and your vegetable garden, these prefer bacterially based worm castings, whereas trees and larger shrubs, they do prefer to have fungally based nutrients. So if you are producing worm castings and you grow mostly trees, then you want to ensure that your castings is fungally based. If you are growing fruits and vegetables, then you want to ensure that your worm casting is bacterially based. Now the good thing is that if you are growing both types of plants, fruits and vegetables or trees and shrubs, all you need to do is create 2 different worm bins, and from those 2 worm bins, one is going to be more carbon based and the other is going to be more nitrogen based. Then you will have castings fit to use for the various types of plants that you are growing. When you are top dressing with worm castings, it's important to keep in mind that castings require moisture in order to keep the microbes alive. So it is recommended that you moisten your castings, keep it moist as much as you can, so that the microbes can stay alive. Of course, in a short period of time the microbes will start moving around in your garden, but after applying it you want to moisten it so that the plants can reap the benefits from it, or so that the microbes can reap the benefits of the moisture. I don't know, I am struggling with cutworms, and the BT doesn't seem to be controlling the cutworms as it should. So I'm just gonna do what I can, just keep treating. At least I might be able to control the population to some extent. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video and you'd like more informative videos like these, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment in the section below. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more updates like these. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day. Yeah man, time to go.